The Yankee lose. All right, I have been watching this clip pretty much on repeat since the Yankee lose. The Toronto Blue Jays last night busted up the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, and this clip right here, this is legendary. Let's watch it together here.
Espérate. He's ordering his beer.
Presidente, vámonos.
What a Mr.
Papi,
Dímelo.
podemos decir lo que siempre decimos.
Dale. The Yankee lose. The
Yankee lose.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
Oh, that's
Oh,
legendary.
Hey, let's do it again. The Yankees lose. The
Yankee lose.
Let's go.
Fuck the Yankees, man.
One more. The Yankees lose.
You see Jeter, he's not
I
happy.
don't think there's anything else left to be said. Vlad, you were awesome. We'll see you in the next round. Go enjoy it, all right?
Llámame.
Dale, te llamo de una vez. Gracias.
Okay.
Felicidades, papi. Gusto en verlo, gracias.
Presidente para todo el mundo.
Welcome to the Ben Stortini Show, where stories drift between worlds and forgotten moments find new life. Let's begin our journey. Let's go. The Yankee lose. Way to go, Jays, man. Right in Yankee Stadium. Beautiful. That was legendary right there between Papi and Vladi right there. That was legendary. Welcome back to the Ben Stortini Show. I'm your host, Mr. Ben Stortini. That's BenStortini. How are you today? I am doing pretty good. I have my coffee here. It is cold as shit. All of a sudden it just got cold. So yeah, winter is coming. Fall is actually here now after a couple of weeks where it was just beautiful weather here in the sunny city of Toronto. Let's get right into it. Yeah, we'll touch on the Jays later. I wanted to talk about I'm so proud of my daughter yesterday. She went to her cross country run with her school yesterday, and she's done it. This is her 4th year in a row. And this was easily her fastest she's ever done. It was a big group this year, the grade four girls, and she was sick last year. She wasn't sick this year. She went in, and she was confident. I could tell she was ready to go, and she went, man. And before I was telling her afterwards, in running, there's always in one race, there's always this. There's always the people that are at the very end. There's the slow, then there's the middle, then there's the fast, and then there's the elite. Those are usually the sections of a race, right? And all the years past, she was always in the back. This year, she finished in the middle, and that's a huge jump. She's not just in the back or the slow, but she's in the middle, and she's inching closer to the fast group. And I was so proud of her, man. I was the only dad. I was on the inside of the track, and I was the only dad wearing my leather jacket, trailing her, just beside her, just pumping her up. You know, she had to do 2 kilometers too. She ran it in about 14 minutes, and I'm just so proud of her. And yeah, it's just watching your kids grow and watching them do stuff like this is just crazy. I have to like hold back from screaming and yelling and being like super excited because, but there I am running beside her. Love you, Luna. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, you're only going to get better. It was just amazing to see her, race her best race yesterday. Proud of you, baby. Secondly, let's talk about Stello. I mentioned in last week's episode, kids, man, it was my warning to parents that they just soak up everything that you say and they're going to say exactly what you say, right? So he's sitting there, he's eating his dinner, and then he drops something off the table and he stops and he looks at it and he goes, "Oh, fuck." And I wasn't there for this, but my lady told me about this, and I guess that she wasn't too sure that that's what he said. She's like, I think maybe he said something else, but then he kept looking at it and he just kind of shakes his head and goes, "Fuck." So he's only 3, guys. So be very, very careful what comes out of your mouth around your kids, because next thing you know, they're going to be saying goddamn shoes and fuck. So be careful. Man, watching those Jays yesterday beat up on the Yankees, the Yankee lose. It's just seeing their celebration, because I stayed up and I watched their celebration afterwards when they were partying, and just like the pure joy. And it reminded me of a time when I was in college. A lot of you probably most of you that listen to this, the little of you that do, know that I used to do music. It's always in me, but I used to make music in college and then after college, and I used to do shows, and it all started in college. But I remember I used to make music. Back in those days, you had to like burn it from from carts to CDs and blah blah blah. But I had this one tune, it was called Hush. And it was so catchy. I remember one night, we burnt it on disc, and I was like, just gonna fuck it. Let's just try. Let's just see because I knew the guys who ran the local bar at the school. It was called The Wall, and I knew the DJ. I knew the guy that ran the place. What was his name again? Shit, big guy. It'll come to me. So I had the disc in hand, and at that time I was drinking heavy, double fisting Canadians. We're on the stage, of course. We're dancing on the stage. It's packed. So I got the courage. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go up there. Let's talk to the DJ and see if he'll play this tune. We go upstairs, and DJ's up there. I know him. Blah blah blah. And I started talking to him like, oh man, if you could play this tune, we just made it yesterday. It's pretty catchy. And these are the days he didn't check it beforehand. He just kind of took me for my word that this tune was going to work. I was like, it's catchy. It'll make him dance. I promise you, it'll make him dance. He took it. And sure enough, swear to God, I'm up there maybe 10 minutes later, 2 or 3 songs later. We're actually dancing on the speaker. At this point, though, most Canadian is just in me, double fisting, dancing, blah, 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 feeling good all around all my friends, surrounded by all my friends. All of a sudden, hush, little baby, please be quiet. I'm about to spit a rhyme. That's how it went. And it was real catchy, like early 2000s catchy, right? All of a sudden, it's playing. I will never forget just seeing that joy in like the Blue Jays faces, the coaches' faces, just the fans in general. That joy hit me on that stage. I'll never forget that feeling. I was standing on stage, and like everybody all my friends kind of just stopped and looked at me because they're like, holy shit, like this was year 2000, 99. And like this didn't happen very much, right? They're all looking at me like that. Oh my God, that's Ben's song, right? And we're dancing, and I'm dancing to my own song, and I'm like, it blew me out of the water. And I actually started, of course, got my mom in me. A little bit of tears started coming out of me, and all my people were coming up to me, giving me hugs, shaking my hand. People I didn't know were like, oh yeah, man, good for you, boom, boom, boom. It was just one of those moments in life that, if I could encapsulate that and put that in some cologne and just spray it on me, I would take that. And I just take that with me wherever I go. Like, don't forget that pure joy. And that was pure joy. And the recognition amongst my friends, like to be around my friends and the respect they showed. And the timing was perfect too, because I had a bunch of drinks in me. So I was feeling real good. I'm on top of a speaker. You know what I mean? It was just so much fun, man. And thank you to I still can't remember his name, but shit, I feel terrible. I can't remember. But thank you to him who ran The Wall. Thank you to that DJ that night. And, he consistently, I would bring him tunes every Friday, and he would play them, which was crazy. He wouldn't even check them. He would just be like, all right, that first one worked. I bring him a tune like pretty much every week, and he would play them. So big shout out to him, man. Big shout out to him. I remember we went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I've mentioned that before, but we went for spring break. I've told the story before. I took the Greyhound, 22 hours with 2 of my friends. But I didn't mention this part. So this was after I got that song played, and I was feeling pretty good about myself, right? Like we were making tunes. I was selling CDs around the college. I had a big ego at the time, right? My ego was pretty big. I thought I was the next big thing, right? And so we get to Myrtle Beach, and this is around the time with like No Limit, Cash Money, those type of tunes, right? So we're out partying. This is spring break. We're the Canadians. We're having a good time. And there was one night we went to this one club. I can't remember what it was, but blah, blah, blah. Great night. No, sorry. No. The whole day we were in a pool. We were in a pool drinking the whole day. Yes, we were in the pool. I still remember I was in Laker shorts. Anyways, we were in the pool all day drinking with these Americans and hanging out with these Americans from Michigan. We ended up back in the hotel room. We're just drinking and drinking and drinking. And all of a sudden, we're yelling off of our balcony like we're causing problems. Like we're super loud, super spring break, right? Just super spring breaked out. Playing our music super loud, like my music super loud. Oh my gosh. Anyways, all of a sudden we hear a knock on the door. Man, this is the South Carolina Myrtle Beach police system is at our door, right? I'm like, oh no. 5 cops come into my hotel room, right? And again, there was like a group from Michigan, like 4 or 5 of them, and then us, 3 of us, Canadians, right? They're like, you guys, blah blah blah, like saying that we were throwing bottles off of the balcony, but we weren't. They were just like, they heard that we were just rowdy, right? So they came up. They're like, we're gonna need to see all of your IDs, boys. So everybody brings out their IDs. They take the Americans' IDs, and they're like, oh no, these are fake. So all of these guys' IDs, they weren't 21. All of them were fake. So they're like, they got caught, right? So they're fucked. They take our IDs. And at the time so I'm born in 1980. At the time I was 20. So I wasn't quite 21 yet. So it was year 2000. I wasn't quite 21 yet. They looked at my ID. They let me go. They couldn't do the math right. So I was underage, but they just couldn't do the math right. So they let me go. Point of the story though is they made us pour out. We had like 5 cases of beer. They made us and watched us pour out every single bottle of beer we had to make sure they were all gone. But my one buddy, Alex, he was smart enough to, like, when he was pouring it, he would leave about a quarter of it and he would just put the bottle down. Anyways, those Americans, they were cool though. They ended up going and buying us cases of beer because they felt like it was their fault, blah, blah, blah. So it's like the only, God bless America. USA. All right, go ahead. Point of this whole story is this was a heavy day of drinking. This was a heavy day of partying, right? So this is just like 4 o'clock. Right, so we still have the night, and our plan was to go to the club that night. We're all hanging out, we're drinking. They go back down to the pool for like an hour or two at like 5 o'clock just to like hang out with some more people. I got this crazy idea. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? At the time, I was an Outkast fan, right? Of the ATLiens album. And the first album, I was a big fan of that, right? And I think Stankonia just came out. I can't remember. Anyways, big Outkast fan. And so what happened was, they're down at the pool. I'm up in the hotel room. I had this brilliant idea. I am absolutely out of my mind drunk. I had this brilliant idea. I'm like, you know what? I am going to go to Savannah, Georgia, and I'm going to go find Outkast. I'm going to find Big Boy. I'm going to find those dudes, Andre 3000. You know what? I'm going to go find the Dungeon Family. I'm going to Savannah. I'm going to Georgia. Fuck it. I'm going to Georgia. I don't care if anybody else is coming with me. I'm close. So I start ironing my clothes. I'm so drunk. I'm ironing my clothes so that my plan is I'm going to jump in a cab from South Carolina and go down to Georgia to just find Outkast. Because I'm like, you know what? They need to know about me, and we need to make a song together. So I need to go down into the basement with Dungeon Family, and we need to make some tunes. So I'm like, and this is literally what's going on in my head, like just delusional drunk, right? So I'm ironing my pants, I'm ironing my shirt, dirty ass clothes. We've been there almost a week already. So I'm like, why am I ironing? Anyways, so I'm ironing my clothes, and I finally get my clothes on, and I was like, all right, cool. So I go down to the hotel, down to the pool. I got my shit. I walk into the pool. Everybody's in there. I go, listen, everybody. When you guys listen to me now, I'm going to go do something, guys, can stay. You guys going to go to the club. I'm not going to go to the club with you tonight. Not tonight. Because what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to meet Outkast. I'm going to Outkast, going to Georgia. I'm going to take a cab. Don't worry about me. I'm going now. And they're like, what? Said, I'm going to find Outkast in Georgia. I'm taking a cab. Peace. And I started to leave, and thank God, my one buddy, Alex, he was like wise enough at the time. He's like, no, you're not. He actually stopped me. He's like, dude, you're not going to make it. You're just not going to make it. And thankfully, man, he stopped me from God knows where I would have ended up in that situation, because I was gone, man. I was gone. I was going to call, concierge to get me a cab. I was going down to Georgia. I was going to find Outkast. Thankfully, my buddy stopped me, and my bags were packed, but my bags were unpacked shortly thereafter. So shout out to you, Alex, for stopping me from going to Georgia that night. Thank God. Big shout out to the Jays. My point of telling all those stories is, that I saw that party, man. They won last night. I saw that party. It just reminded me of times where the partying got pretty heavy. And that was, I've got a lot of those stories, but those two right there really stuck out. Let's get into a health check real quick before we switch worlds. I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm on a mini cut right now, so I'm trying to. I definitely got up in weight. I'm gonna check my weight tomorrow. I'm thinking I'm like 190 plus right now, probably 195. But I'm going on a little mini cut right now just to kind of ease up a little bit because I can really feel it. But I feel good. I feel strong. My chiropractor, I saw him last week. He what did he say? I couldn't do this one exercise for my adductor, and he's so funny. He kind of keeps his voice real low and real soft, right? He's a little hairy chiropractor, right? He goes, if you don't do that exercise, what is the point of us doing what we do? It's like, you know what, you're right. It's just I was like, doing that exercise, it hurts when I do it just because it's a pretty significant pain that I'm having in my adductor, right? I really fucked it up, to put it bluntly. And so, yes, I have to do that. But it's funny, like, I am getting better, which is amazing. But I did have a flare up. It's funny. It's like Murphy's Law, man. He's like, have there been any flare ups since we've started? I'm like, no, which there hadn't been. 2 days later, I start running more. I did like, I shouldn't have did this. I did like 10 days straight of running, which is so stupid, and boom, I get a flare up, and it affects my sleep. So at least I know that's exactly what it is, and my mind doesn't have to, like, because you know what we do, we think, okay, well, that must be fucking tumors, it must be brain cancer, you know what I mean? Like, your brain just starts tripping out on you. But I know what it is, because fuck, the moment I ice that shit and I calm down, relax, and treat myself as my age, it gets better. So, listen to your body, man. We've heard that our entire lives. I remember listening to Mr. McKenzie. He was our gym teacher in high school. Mr. McKenzie. I don't know why this just popped in my head, but he had a couple weird moments with him, actually. He used to teach us wrestling, right? He teaches us wrestling in gym class. And I remember, he said some foul shit to me, actually. My gym teacher. He said something about my mom when we were wrestling. He said something like, what did he say again? It was like super weird. I can't remember. He's like, he got me in a chokehold or something like that. He got real close and he got real rough with us, right? He got us down and got me in a chokehold, and he's like, what do you think your mom would like this? Or something like super foul. And I kind of looked at him, like cracked him in the side. I'm like, what? Like, I was like 15. I'm like, what did you just say about my mom? Like, that's kind of weird, coach. And he's like, but I got him back later because my buddy Phil ended up, so I got out of high school, and my buddy Phil still had like 1 or 2 years, and he started dating Mr. McKenzie's daughter, which was just funny. So he's walking around just king shit dating the gym teacher's daughter after he said that foul shit about my mom teaching us wrestling. Like, get out of here. That's gross. Anyways, what was the point? Why did I start talking about Mr. McKenzie? The gym. Yeah, I don't even know why I started talking about that, but yeah. Shout out to you, Mr. McKenzie. Let's leave it at that. Health matters, chiropractor, things are healing, things are good. Let's go switch worlds. Yeah, let's switch worlds. You heard me. I want to give a shout out to my guy Rob from Dwell Gym, man. Toronto legend right here. I want to give a shout out to him. I miss you, buddy. And again, congratulations with the 2 kids. And man, you're on fire in life, and I love it, man. And you've always were there for me, man, just to be an open ear, and I just wanted to give you a shout out. You just popped in my head, so there you go. What if I did? Okay, and we're back. Yeah, big shout out to you, Rob. Let's jump into the Stortini verse. I wasn't too sure what music I wanted to play for you, but my son Stello made that decision easy. I played him this tune like a year ago, and it's funny. He's got an ear. Once he gets his head stuck on something, he just keeps going and keeps going. And he always asks me every single morning I drive him to daycare. He asks, "Can you play my tune?" That's what he says. He's like, he sits down again. The moment I get into the truck, he's like, "Can you play my tune?" He says tune. "Can you play my tune?" I'm like, "Yes, Stella, sure." He loves this song. This is Chancha Visacurtio from Peru. This is Peruvian music. Like, this is ayahuasca music in the middle of the mountains. Like, let me just jump in. And the singer is Miriam Garcia. Let's get into this. This is Stello's tune, man. This is that ayahuasca music, man. Flip side dimension music, man. Ask the turtle where to go, you know what I mean? That's Miriam Garcia you hear right there. That shit is beautiful. And when this is playing, my son just smiles and bobs his head. It's beautiful. Love it. This is on top of a mountain talking to a turtle music, man. This is inside Jimi Hendrix headband, you know what I mean? Man, right there, that's my son Stello's favorite song. Can you play my tune? Pinter El Sol, the remix with Miriam Garcia, Chancha Villa Securio. That's Peruvian music right there. Go look that shit up on Spotify. It'll blow your mind. All right, let's jump into the documentary pick. I had no idea what I was gonna pick for you, so I am going to stick. I am a Disney Plus fan. I realize I'm just so, it's more National Geographic, so shout out to Disney Plus for getting National Geographic. But I had mentioned the Life Below Zero docuseries with the first Alaskans, with the indigenous people, with the Indians, man. And this one right here, this is called, what is it called? Primal Survivor. I think his name is Primal Survivor. It's this dude, man. And he wears the same damn red t-shirt like my boy Sandy. My boy Sandy has this red t-shirt he wears to the gym. And shout out to Sandy, man. You know what? Shout out to Rob and shout out to Sandy. I miss you boys, man. Anyways, it's like Sandy's red shirt, and he looks just like my guy Sandy. He looks just like, I've actually sent pictures to Sandy. I'm like, look at this, man, this is you in the Amazon, man. So what this dude does is, go look it up, Primal Survivor, I believe it's called. And this dude just goes and hangs out with tribes in the middle of the Amazon and gets to know them for like months. And then they bring in the cameras and they show what the tribes have taught on, like the Kanamari tribe down in South America. And they show how to use the blowguns to get monkeys out of the trees. And don't touch that leaf, because that leaf is going to get you. And like, this is how you get fire when you don't have fire and have nothing to start the fire with. You got to use this fungi, and you got to summon the turtle shell from the top of the tree, and you got to do this, you got to do, like, it's just like, I'll tell you something right now. If I went down to the Amazon and you just plop me down there, I would have a tough time. But I'll tell you something, after engulfing, like the book I'm reading right now is about survival in the Amazon, I would probably know what to do a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not saying I'd be able to do it, but I would know more than you. I promise you that. So for you to get started for some survival, just in case you end up in the Amazon, watch Primal Survivor on National Geographic. This shit is incredible. It, again, puts perspective on life, how these tribes are living down there, like, and then how we're up here worrying about such bullshit, and they gotta go get the piranha to go eat. You know what I mean? Like, it's just talk about multiple dimensions, like that music we were just listening to. So yes, Primal Survivor, National Geographic. Go check it out. My challenge for this weekend for you is I am going to ask you to try what I'm doing right now. They're called mini cuts. So they're not so... It's not a full cut. When I say cut, basically it's dieting, but it's not dieting. It's changing up your intake of what food you're taking in, and just taking a tiny bit of something away from that. So, like for instance, oats. Final meal of the day, every day for me, is my oats. Usually there's banana in there, there's blueberries, there's a bunch of seeds, nuts, there's a bunch of stuff in there. But what I would do is I would take a little bit of those nuts away. It's not that I take all the nuts away, but I'm just taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little less salt, just mini cut of every little thing that I eat, just taking a little bit away, and watch how your body reacts to that shit. It's incredible. You don't have to take it all away. That's why diets for people, it's like you take so much away, it's not going to work, because you're just going to fall back into that hole anyways. But if you just take a tiny little bit, it's like microdose lessing things away from your certain food that you take in, and see what happens, man. So try that out and see what happens. You'll feel great. And maybe try out a little bit of intermittent fasting too. Like I've told you before in previous episodes, I used to do it all the time. I was pretty obsessive with it, but now I'm just doing a few days a week, maybe 18 to 20 hours, but only a few days a week. And man, just like not doing it all the time and just having it here and there, incredible. I got, that focus comes back, that like I can see why entertainers, like comedians, they say they love to go on stage fasted. I get it. There's just something that happens. There's a focus that happens, and I love it. So there you go. There's your challenge for the weekend. And that's that for the episode, man. This is a quick one, and I just want to thank you for whoever's listening to this. Again, I go, there's ups and downs with this podcast, man. This one this has happened a few times where I'm just like, well, I have to remind myself why I'm doing this. Sometimes it feels like why am I doing this? And I sit there and I question myself, and it's like, well, why am I doing this? And my true intent from the start was to get stuff off my chest and maybe help out other people. But then it's like, am I doing it to entertain people? Am I doing it to make people laugh? Maybe I am. Maybe I need that in my life. I don't know, but I know it's a little bit of it all. But sometimes it's like I didn't even want to do this one. I wasn't gonna do it, but something just keeps me going. I don't know what it is. Maybe is it my ego? I have no idea. But I really, really want to balance myself out and make sure it stays on point, and I stay me, and I stay locked into why I started this. I want whoever's listening to this right now just to know every single time they press play or download or whatever, that you're getting a true, honest version of me. And I'm not acting, I'm not putting on a show, because I'm not. And people that know me know that I can't hide my emotions. My emotions are just I wear them on my sleeve. And this podcast, it's just evident of that, right? Maybe I share too much, which I don't know. But now I'm just spitballing, and I don't quite know where I'm going with this, but it started with a thank you to you, whoever's listening. I'm gonna keep this going as long as my gut, my heart, pushes me to do it. So thank you. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right. Have a great weekend, and don't forget the Yankee loose. Thank you for listening or watching this episode. It means a lot, genuinely. And remember, new episodes come out every single Friday. Please hit subscribe wherever you're catching this pod, whether it's Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. And please hit that 5-star review, as that nudges that silly little algorithm to reach out to more ears and more eyes. Please have a great weekend, and don't forget,